O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
To the Ojibwe people in Canada, there is a word that recognizes our sense of connection to each other, our sense that we are people because of each other. That word is Akinawea. To the Iroquois, again the Iroquois nation here in Canada, there is a word that reflects that we are not individuals, but part of a greater connection of all people and of all of creation. That word is Doneto Akwenke. To the Algonquin people here in Canada, there is a word that reflects that sense of connection to all people that loosely translated means all that I know, all people. All of these words reflect a spirituality, indeed a philosophy, that recognizes our deep connection. It is not that we are individuals by ourselves, but that we are individuals in relationship one to the other. I am because we are. A person is a person through other people. Convocation is an opportunity, indeed a celebration that enables us to see how connected we are to each other and to all of creation around. In crop sciences, they tell us that we share 67% of the same DNA as the trees that you walked by as you entered into this beautiful place. We are all connected. The graduates who pass by this stage this afternoon recognize their connection to each other, because if it wasn't for the people to their right and left, people behind them, in front of them, they would not be here. They recognize their connection to family and friends who gather around for support and encouragement, because they recognize without that support and encouragement, they would not be here. They recognize the faculty and the members of staff standing before them, and they recognize without those people, they would not be here. They recognize all of the other people who work on this campus to offer food or to offer support in any way, and they recognize that without those people, they would not be here. The graduands are because we are all together connected. Today is a celebration of that connection. It is to the Creator we give thanks for that connection in a spirit of love one to the other. Amen. Please be seated.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, you're supposed to enjoy today. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the board, fellows, faculty and staff of the university, families and friends, and graduates, welcome to the celebration of your convocation at the University of Guelph. My name is Rich Mocking. I'm the Associate Vice President of Research, and I'm privileged to stand before you with the honor of opening this ceremony on behalf of the university. I'd like to officially congratulate all of you, our graduates, on your achievements. I hope you will join me in thanking the many people, your families, friends, and mentors who have supported, encouraged, and inspired you in the pursuit of excellence in your studies. For you, this is a day of both challenge and continuity, perhaps a true intellectual paradox if there ever was one. The change part is what we primarily celebrate here today with pomp and circumstance and ceremony. Today you close one significant chapter in your lives and begin a new one. And you mark an important accomplishment that culminates years of effort and hard work, and you turn your goal into another step in your preparation to face new challenges of increasing complexity and impact on the world around you. And therein lies the continuity part of your journey. Your learning, of course, did not begin here at Guelph, nor will it end here today. Life will become more challenging, more enlightening, more productive, more satisfying, and as you will come to appreciate, much more fulfilling too as you get older. Perhaps you came here to change your life. Many have done that at the University of Guelph. At the very least, you came here to develop the possibilities and resources in your own minds, to devote time to learning essential skills and acquiring knowledge, to challenging yourselves and extending your capabilities outside your personal envelopes. Here in our community of scholars, you enjoyed the freedom to learn about the world around you and to learn about yourself in the process. Our goal was simply to help you see your path more clearly. We have tried to prepare you for this next step by opening your eyes to creative ideas you might not have otherwise encountered, to cultures of which you were unaware, to thoughtful perspectives that complement and often, perhaps, contrast with your own. We have tried to help you think critically, to reject simplistic answers to complex questions, and to refuse the empty satisfaction of half-truths and partial solutions. Ultimately, we have shared with you one fundamental and important lesson, that there is always more to learn. It's now up to you to start applying those lessons and skills. I encourage all of you to leave this room with the singular goal of making a difference to the world around you, however big or however small, to be someone who demonstrates the power and the potential of higher education. Take absolutely nothing for granted in your life. Be an active participant in the human race rather than just a member of it. And be true to yourself in every way, no matter what you do. We know you will make us proud, and we hope you are proud too to wear the University of Guelph name. Be one of those people whose accomplishments we trumpet. And as you make that mark on the world, wherever your future leads you, please don't forget that even though you may no longer be here on campus, you will always be part of our Guelph community. It stays with you forever, I can tell you. We want you to feel welcome to return from time to time to share your accomplishments and experiences with your fellow alumni, your former professors, and the future students who will now follow in your footsteps. So I implore you to enjoy this ceremony, take pride in all that it represents, and remember all those who have helped you make this day possible. I'd like to leave you with a quote from one of my ancestors, Leonardo da Vinci. I always tell people he's my ancestor, but perhaps one of the greatest Renaissance thinkers of all time, and certainly a scholar with unquenchable curiosity. He said, "It has long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things." Good luck to you all. Make things happen in your lives. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks.
Mr. Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Guelph, it is my honor to present to you the candidate for an honorary degree, Chandra Madrimuto. It's for the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Professor Chandra Madrimuto is internationally known as an expert in two areas essential to human survival: water and food. He is the Dean of the Faculty of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences and Associate Vice Principal at McGill University, where he is also the James McGill Professor in the Department of Bioresource Engineering. His expertise encompasses irrigation, drainage, water quality, watershed management, agricultural research, and international agricultural development. Professor Madremutu was the driving force behind the creation of the McGill Institute for Global Food Security, which arose from the annual McGill Conference on Global Food Security. This institute focuses on advancing agricultural productivity while conserving resources and minimizing environmental degradation. Professor Madremutu was also the founding director of the Brace Center for Water Resources Management at McGill, that's involved in multidisciplinary research, teaching, and training to find solutions to water quality issues. He was president of the International Commission on Irrigation and Drainage and is currently a member of the governing board of the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics and chairman of the board's Research Program Committee. He is a fellow of the Canadian Society of Bioengineering and a fellow of the American Society of Agricultural and Biological Engineers, and he was inducted into the International Water Academy. Professor Madremutu also continues to teach, and he's supervised more than 80 master's and PhD students. He has published more than 175 book chapters and referee journal articles, and he has had extensive international involvement in many global communities. He has garnered over $20 million in external funding to support the research activities and global leadership in agricultural and water quality research. In recognition of his tremendous and ongoing contributions as a researcher and policy leader on global water and food challenges, I ask you, Mr. Chancellor, to confer upon Chandra Madremutu the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
By the authority of the Senate of the University of Guelph, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Dr. Chandra Madremutu will now give the convocation address.
Chancellor Mirvish, President Summerlee, members of the Board of Governors, graduates of 2012, members of faculty, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to digress for a moment to offer the University of Guelph community my deepest sympathies on the passing of Emeritus Chancellor Lincoln Alexander. He was an exemplary citizen, an outstanding Canadian who promoted the value and benefits of education. I wish to thank the University of Guelph for this signal honor which you have bestowed on me. I accept the degree of an honorary doctorate of science with humility and gratitude, and also with a sense of pride, given the exemplary contributions of your remarkable university to society. Your achievements in scholarship, discovery, education, and public outreach are well known across Canada and in many parts of the world. I therefore feel particularly proud to be associated with the University of Guelph today. I'm certainly no stranger to your beautiful campus, having had many chances to visit on numerous occasions over the past 30 years or so. I congratulate today's graduating class. You've clearly toiled longer and harder and endured much more pain than I have in order to attain your degree you have rightfully earned today. Thank you for allowing me to share this convocation ceremony with you. Let me also take the liberty on your behalf to thank your families and friends who I suspect have made many sacrifices to see you through to the finish line today. We owe our families and friends an enormous debt of gratitude for their unswerving support and for their faith and confidence in us, even in the most trying of times. I would be remiss if I did not thank two noteworthy and obviously influential individuals whom I'm proud to say are members of both the Guelph and McGill communities, Emeritus Professors Mark Waldron and John Ogilvie, for the faith and confidence they have placed in me and for the reason why I'm standing before you today. Mark and John, thank you most sincerely. On this note, I cannot help but think of the many interconnected relationships between Guelph and the Macdonald campus of McGill University, relationships that continue to flourish over decades to the benefit of both institutions. On a very personal level, and to name just a few, among literally hundreds, John Ogilvie taught me at Macdonald before he moved to be the director of the School of Engineering at Guelph in 1977. I had the enormous pleasure to work with John Gruzleski for at least 5 years when he was Dean of Engineering at McGill, before he moved to Guelph in 2006 to be the director of the School of Engineering. Rob Gordon, Dean of OAC, is a Macdonald graduate, and he and I have had the chance to work for some 25 years together, and we continue to do so as fellow deans of agriculture. And last but not least, I want to acknowledge a Guelph and Macdonald alumnus who is here with us today, who played an enormous role in my life, Emeritus Professor Bob Broughton. Bob is one of the world's foremost experts in irrigation and agricultural land drainage. He was my professor, mentor, teacher, and PhD supervisor. In summary, you might say he taught me everything that I know. I hope that all of you who are graduating today can say that you had exceptional teachers and professors and remarkable mentors, people who have made an indelible mark in your lives in the same ways that people like Emeritus Professors Bob Broughton and John Ogilvie impacted and transformed my life, my career, and my outlook on the world. And now to my main message, a message around 3 interwoven themes that have shaped and influenced my career and life over the past 35 years. Firstly, that of professionalism. Secondly, your aspirational goals. And thirdly, your place in a complex world. Firstly, professionalism. And this pertains not just to the graduating students, but equally to the professoriate. I alluded to some of the great professors and mentors who taught me. One of the things that struck me about them when I was a young student was their commitment and dedication to us as students. A commitment that went way beyond formal classroom lectures. It extended as far as the service to the external and professional communities, and everything between. I recall professors who gave freely of their time to hold group tutorials in the evenings and on the weekends to ensure our success, and who demonstrated learning by doing through the lab and field exercises, who led significant research careers and involved not just graduate students, but also undergraduate students in their research projects. Consider for a moment the fertile educational environment of undergraduates learning and interacting with graduate students. I vividly recall those same professors leading their professional societies and encouraging students of all stripes to participate in society conferences. Those same professors instilled in me what was meant by professional obligations, that call to duty to serve the profession and to serve society. Today, there is much debate about the professor's role in academia, the relative weights of research, teaching, and service. Some of my mentors sitting in the room today demonstrated through example that all three are equally important and that a professor ought to excel in research, teaching, and professional service. We should aim for no less. Embracing professionalism meant a lot to me in my first job as an irrigation engineer. It took on an even more significant meaning when I started my career as a professor, because I realized how much students look to professors as role models and how, through student interactions, we could shape young, fertile minds and influence future generations. For those of you who will enter academia or teaching careers, you will need to seriously reflect on how you will be viewed by your students. Not today in the classroom, but 5 or 10 years later, when your students embark on careers of their own. Your professional obligations, whether it be to students, to your employer, your professional society, or to the public, is a duty and a commitment that you must uphold with dignity and with pride. To my second theme, your aspirational goals. It is impossible to know exactly what path your life or career will traverse in the years or decades ahead, but it will most likely be a long and winding road. My own life has taught me that it will be a road with many a twist and turn, a road of challenges, both encouraging and discouraging at times, yet a road of excitement, one of exhilarating opportunities and some very unexpected and rewarding benefits. The opportunities for growth and advancement will far outweigh any obstacles. I urge you not to be preoccupied in having that path laid out with precision from day one, or trying to predetermine the coordinates. For you will be disappointed at the first signpost of failure, and the slightest of deviation will lead to unnecessary dejection. What is more important is to believe in yourself and also to inculcate some beliefs and values which will guide you along life's winding path. You will be wise to have some long-term aspirations built around your beliefs and values, which will act as markers or beacons along your route, markers to which you can refer and readjust your life, always with lofty goals and ideals as you advance forward. I urge you to dream, imagine the impossible, and have a bold vision of how you wish to impact or change the small corner of the world you will inhabit. You have an obligation to your fellow citizens to leave that space in a better condition than when you entered. It is by holding true to your beliefs and values along life's journey that you will achieve your aspirations. And lastly, discovering your place in a complex world. In many ways, you're extremely fortunate to be entering a world where innovation and scientific discovery have transformed our lives. Whether it be conquering the digital divide, genome mapping, drug discovery, or high-efficiency photovoltaic cells. Yet, despite all these advances, is it not ironic that we witness some 2.5 billion people without adequate sanitation, some 2,000 children dying each day from diarrhea caused by unsafe water and poor sanitation, and close to 1 billion people suffering from hunger and malnutrition? As we wrestle with problems of world hunger and malnutrition, we are daunted by the fact that globally, crop yield increases in the past few years are much lower compared to the decades of 1975 to 1995. The question looming large on everyone's mind is how are we going to feed over 9 billion people by the year 2050 with dwindling land and water resources and rising energy prices? We're extremely fortunate in Canada. We've taken advantage of the relative abundance of our land and water resources and our expertise to be a major food producer. Through our ingenuity, we've been able to breed new high-yielding crop varieties, we've improved land and water productivity, and we are viewed as a leader in dairy herd genetic improvement. On the other hand, the reliability and integrity of our food safety system leaves fears among some. We're called to think about the safety and security of our planet and the sustainability of our finite resources for future generations. In doing so, we're confronted by the stark realities of the water, food, and energy crises that threaten our very survival. And these are all compounded by the vagaries of a changing climate. You're therefore entering a seemingly complex world in which you're being challenged to discover your own unique and distinct role. It is a role in which you will be called upon, for example, to make use of genetic engineering tools to solving the water, food, and energy crises. As a further example, the debate over application of transgenic materials and genetically modified organisms in our food system will deepen and could polarize society even further. But the debate is not solely around just scientific and technological fixes. It is also about the appropriate policy, legal, and institutional constructs that will need to be framed as we strive for solutions to hunger, malnutrition, water availability, energy and resource management, and environmental protection. Some will argue that social innovation lags our scientific innovation. There's definitely a role for each of us in our respective disciplines in this world of complexity and contrast. We owe it to future generations to collectively intervene, to arrest the scourges of poverty, disease, hunger, malnutrition, environmental degradation, inequality, and injustice of all forms that confronts billions in Canada and around the world. Hopefully, through your unique position in your community, with a strong commitment to professionalism and with aspirational goals deeply rooted in your values and beliefs, you will have a most rewarding and uplifting life ahead. Thank you all, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Professor Mandramutu, for those very personal and moving words. Well, the moment has come. Will the graduating class please rise? Mr. Chancellor, I have the honour to present to you these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph, that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby accept you for admission to your various and several degrees, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations appertaining thereto.
Will members of the graduating class please be seated?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be reading the names of all the graduands, and we know that you're very excited to see your student go across the stage, so if you feel that you want to give a shout-out, that's fine. But we'll give you the signal for the time for you to applaud the groups of students so that we can keep the time of this event to everyone's satisfaction. Thank you. We'll give you the signal for that applause. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you this scholar from the College of Arts, that she may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Jody Salter. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Biological Science, that they may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Nicolette Shannon Bradley. James Lawley. Catherine Lowry. Srinivas Nelly Marla. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you this scholar from the College of Physical and Engineering Science, that he may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Nathaniel Johnston. Lutful Karim. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences, that they may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Kofi Len Belfon. Emily Lisa Christofides. Shannon Ruth Cunningham. Darcy R. Dupuy. Anne Elizabeth Ferry. Kylie Nicole Hartwick. Alexander Fomin Leguago. Philip Andrew Mount. Holly Dolores Reimer. Tricia Marie Van Ryn. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Agricultural College, that they may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Yamini Gopalpilli. Gary Thomas Graham. Alexandra Camilla Grigorchek. Pulari Krishnakuti Nair. Dale Anthony Lackyram. Monica Parker. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Veterinary College, that they may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Kathleen Adele Thompson Crispy. Dion Lepp. Carolina Skrovonsky. Jennifer Jane Thompson. Please join me in congratulating these graduates for their Doctor of Philosophy. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Veterinary College, that they may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Science. Belinda Black. Colette Ramzia Elmas. Please join me in congratulating this group of graduates. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Arts, that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Arts. Laura Baker. Kathleen Brown. Alana Kelk Reed. Erica Sarah Mandarino. Samantha Smith Moskal. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Arts, that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Fine Arts. Julia Allison Hall. Please join me in congratulating these College of Arts graduate students. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Biological Science, that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science. Mara Alexanian Farr. Ryan Michael Bootleer. Grace Ya-Ying Chung. Marissa Dahari. Lindsay Kirsten DeLille. Samantha Eilis. Andrew James Foster. Rebecca Noel Halls. Luke Douglas Harding. Cameron Hudson. JC Ann Jackson. Vanessa Marie LaBelle. Zachary Rock Michael LeBlanc. Emily Caitlin Miracle. Samantha Erin McFarlane. T. Fatima Mitterbach. Jessica Montero. Robert Alexander Osborne. Kate Hannah J. Perez. Maxine Sider. Brittany Marie Shaw. Natasha Sheikh. Erica Stacy. Sabina Stanescu. Lauren Whitney. Sina Tidy. Svetlana Yurchenko. Please join me in congratulating these College of Biological Science graduates. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you this scholar from the College of Management and Economics, that she may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science. Caitlin McDougall. Please join me in applauding these students from the College of Management. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Physical and Engineering Science, that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Science. Haley Elizabeth Ashworth. Vidya Nagarajan. Lin Ji. Zhao Bo Zhou. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you this scholar from the College of Physical and Engineering Science, that he may be admitted to the degree of Master of Engineering. Adnan Taro Jina. Deneb Nahara Ragbar. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Physical and Engineering Science, that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science. Jane Elizabeth Belanger. Badamsambu Jigmedorja. Adam Christopher Doan. Daniel McDonald. Nicholas Mayer. Christopher Menazes. Semenya Sheikhnia. Serena Singh. Andrew James Roblin Tigalar. Please join me in congratulating these master's students from the College of Physical and Engineering Science. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences, that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Nutrition. Sharona Abramovich. Marie Coyne. Lee Kapuscinski. Amanpreet Kaur Sagu. Catherine June Panabaker Schwenger. Jacqueline Stroll. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences, that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Arts. Joel Apps. Sarah Barbara Cahill. Simran Kaur Chatta. Denis J.W. Farr. Lila Zara Harris. Shelley Irene Hazen. Rebecca Francis Ivanoff. Carl Jacob Kiefer. Cindy Lenore Kinnan. Ashley Dana McInnes. Nicole Niscali. Dominique Schmidt. Leanne Schneider. Natasha Lee Smith. Pamela Taylor. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences, that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science. Wissam Al-Dabag. Slobodanka Brankov. Laura Joanne French. Stephen McEwen. Sarah Pierce. Sandra Anna Perchak. Robert Charles Rankalawansing. My apologies. Matthew Joseph Stevenson. Aaron Dawn Watson. Alicia Urachuk. Those are our graduates from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences. Please join me in welcoming them. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you this scholar from the Ontario Agricultural College that he may be admitted to the degree of Master of Landscape Architecture. Naveed Mazhar. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Agricultural College that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science. Mahbud Ahmad. Sarah Ruth Ahola. DI. Faranak Bashi. Wahid Basgar. Jonathan Martin Paul Brinkman. Teresa Casey. Jessica Lynn Culbert. Tesla Cummins. Matthew Cornelis Leo Groen. Eugenia Herwig. Chohu Wang. Adam Nathaniel Kleinberg. Michelle Rong Lam. Wilson Lau. Danielle Marie Lombardi. Jacqueline Elise Love. Janine McGowan. Marie Francesca Minetti. Sonia Zoe Pollock. Neil Risk. Candace Marie Schistel. Bethany Margaret Story. Cassandra Tang Wing. Xin Shi. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Agricultural College that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science Planning. Catherine Jane Proctor. Monica Walker Bolton. Please join me in congratulating these master's candidates from the OAC. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Veterinary College that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Biomedical Sciences. David Bolog. Michael Schuster. Alize Jacqueline Hargreaves. Natasha Elizabeth Smith. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the Ontario Veterinary College that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science. Amanda Marie Barber. Amanda Deanne Kerr. Tyler O'Neill. Samantha Louise Payne. Teresa Danielle Proctor. Evan Schneider. Brittany Stinson. Sabrina Thomas. Sonia Charlotte Zors. Please join me in congratulating these students from the Ontario Veterinary College.
How about a hand of applause for Cecilia Payne for reading all of those names? Mr. Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduates listed in the program but unable to be present at this ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduands not present.
On behalf of everyone on the platform, may I be the first to congratulate you formally as graduates. There are two things that I'm going to ask you to do. The first is, I'd like to ask you to stand up, turn round, and face the support team that you have behind you, and give them a round of applause. You may sit down again. The second is, and I'm sorry to say this, you're going to have to sit and listen to me before you can actually get out of here. I don't know if you noticed, but when you stood up and turned round, when you first sort of turned round, some of you were going like this, and then some of your family and friends were going like this, and then gradually it got bigger and bigger until the people up there were waving like crazy. We do very funny things as human beings, but one of them is that we need to take much more time to celebrate the successes in our lives and dwell less on the things that are a concern. Universities are really very special places, and I know over the last several years you've been able to spend some quality time here. You will look back and think about how unique and special that time has been. We are unique communities full of people who are passionate about human and humane values, and you've been very privileged to be able to spend that time here. But we, in turn, the faculty, staff, and administration at the university, have been privileged to be part of your journeys. But now that journey is going to take a new turn from today. So it's time not only to say congratulations, but it's time to say goodbye. And before you go, I'm going to ask of you 3 things. First, live your lives to the fullest. Every single moment. Take every opportunity that is offered to you and try everything at least once. You'll never know whether you truly like something or not if you don't try it. Second is to laugh. There are many, many issues and problems in this world, and all of them will be overpowering unless you develop a sense of fun. Laugh at yourself and with others. Nothing should ever be too overwhelming not to laugh. Perhaps my lasting memories of visiting the refugee camps in Africa over the past several years is that people in the camps laugh. At first I couldn't understand it. I was in Dadaab on the 20th of July 2011 when the United Nations declared famine. 500,000 people trapped in the desert. 1,500 people arriving daily, starving. And on the first day that I arrived, 70 children, 70, died before they even entered the camp. And yet the people there laugh. They laugh in the face of adversity, and in doing so, create hope. So if they can laugh, so can you, no matter what the challenge, and it will help to lighten the load. So first, live. Second, laugh. And the third is learn. Never stop learning and caring. Only by continuing to care about people around you and about the planet around us will you truly make a difference in this world. So I ask you to look back over the distance you have come, and turn and face the future. Take with you all that you have learned here at the University of Guelph and recite the mantra, live, laugh, and learn. Seize every opportunity that the world offers you. And in the words of the Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in this world. Make a difference. Make a difference in your own lives and make a difference in the lives of others. Change other people's lives for the better and be a beacon of hope in this world ahead. And please remember the privilege of your freedom, the freedom in your lives, which is not granted to everyone else in this world. You have the freedom to live and work where you like, the freedom to cherish thought that is not constrained by political, religious, or ideological dogma, the freedom to walk with whomever you choose, wherever you want to go. And all of this comes from being in a most remarkable country. Despite all of the economic and social gloom that you hear about, we have a lot to be grateful for. So I celebrate and salute your successes. Congratulations on becoming graduates of the University of Guelph. I wish you every success in the future. Thank you. Following convocation, the Office of Graduate Studies and their guests will host a reception for the graduates and their guests in the Science Complex atrium, and I hope you'll take the opportunity to attend and say thank you to all of those people that you need to say thank you to. We do have one more ceremony to do today, so at the end of this, I would ask you to leave by the two doors on this side here. You may be crushed in the tsunami of people coming in for the next round. Take lots of pictures. Hold those memories. You'll be able to look back and say, did my hair really look like that? Did I actually wear those ridiculously high-heeled shoes? Did I have earrings that actually looked like that? Or for some of us, did I actually have hair in those days? Enjoy the rest of today. Congratulations.
Convocation is dismissed.